Fucking polymath, man. He's like an editor.
That's amazing.
Danny McDevitt. Heffelfinger. I'm Dickie, and it's Game After Dark.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Game After Dark. One of these weeks, Val and Danny will remember mics are live the entire time, but this week is not that week. We are Warhammer 40,000's only late night show for some reason. My name is John, and I'm here to misinform and entertain as we talk about the goings-on over the last week in the world of Warhammer. But it is a task so massive that I cannot do it alone, so let's meet the team, starting with... I gotta queue up here. I gotta do it right. Starting with my good friend. He's advised me to state that he brings a wealth of tabletop knowledge and experience to the table. Is Danny McDevitt.
That doesn't seem right.
But
Did you just get back from the gym, John?
What's that?
Did you just get back from the gym?
I don't know if you paid attention.
Why you have your...
Why I have my what? Sorry, no, please.
Your earphones in like that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me do it how I usually do it. There.
Thank you. That's much better.
As I've had this for I was like, I don't know if you paid attention the past 2 years. I just wear football shirts on here. But good to have you as always, Danny. And how can we forget our last host? He might have taken an edition off, but he's back in full force for 10th. It's a resident comedy genius and leader of the largest orc WA this side of Climax, Saskatchewan. It's Val Heffelfinger.
Hello, everyone.
Good callback.
How are you? Climax, Saskatchewan.
That's a real place.
It's still going.
I'd say.
It's true. It's been going for like 50 years.
Very tantric place.
And last but by no means least, he's the man behind the curtain, the guy who's responsible for everything you see that isn't just us talking. It's the master of the digital short. It's Dickie.
Oh, I have no lead. There's nothing, just my voice.
What about the file photo? I made a file photo.
What if someone gave you these notes an entire day ago?
Yeah.
To prepare.
Yeah, we're YouTube partners now. We don't have to worry about this.
We're partners, guys.
Yeah.
Guys, YouTube in their infinite wisdom has decided to make us partners, which I think means we have equal share of revenue for all of YouTube. Danny, I believe that's what you said. As partners,
that's true.
Absolutely.
I think on every show we should publish how much we make on each show, just from the ad sets. Like I want to see when we break a dime. I can't I'm gonna do a touchdown dance.
That's fine. Guys, I went into a weird fervor of planning and creation yesterday. We have a full slate for you tonight as we find out what we've been up to over the last week in our patented State of Play segment. We're going to pit Val and Danny against each other in our latest game of 40K, or our latest game I made up this weekend called 40K Professional, or just Professional I found on LinkedIn. We digitally steal Peter the Falcon's voice to explore new fan fiction and Falcon Fiction, and we check out what's going on in the Warhammer community as we go around the net. Before we get started with State of Play, let me give you an actual warning that we're going to discuss the game of Warhammer 40,000. Guys, you got to wait for the dick jokes now.
Hold on a minute.
Come on.
Wait, stop the show.
No,
Did you just do a roadmap for the entire show? Right now?
I did. I remembered
Steve Joel told us to do that.
Well, Warhammer 40K gone. Steve Joel told me 2 years ago to do at the start, but that's okay. I'm just a little slow to pick it up. But yeah, let's roll up with our first YouTube partner funded improvement. It's time for State of Play.
Very nice.
Guys,
wow.
Most people call it games played. Most people call it, I don't know, hobby progress. We don't do that here. That's kind of lame. But Val, Dickie, you guys played some games, and Danny, you had some hobby progress this week, right?
Just a small amount.
That's fair, but
I also played a game this week, and we can talk about that.
I also had hobby progress. Also, why do we have our own branded State of Play, but we haven't thought of anything for hobby progress?
State of Play is a state of mind, so it includes hobby progress.
Yeah,
got it.
Nice.
Hey, no style guide.
Well saved.
Yeah, absolutely. It's almost like I prepped for this eventuality. But Dickie, you took on the finest Eastern Canadian Warhammer players in the first 10th edition tournament over there.
Oh yeah.
How was your weekend, boys?
It was lovely.
Val, if you want to queue up pictures, I do have pictures from your event as well.
Oh, hi there. Actually, that's from my practice game the night before.
Yep.
As you can see, my beloved and infamous gargantuan Squiggoth in effect. holding down that center ruin for a moment, and then he got bloodthirsted pretty good. He actually failed. This might be the first documented case. That's right, folks. Failed battle shock test.
Whoa!
I couldn't neg one the damage on him with the artist nail strat. So he got bloodthirsted good. Although my opponent, the delightful Ian, he really tried hard to not kill the Gargant. The big squig. By rolling a lot of ones to wounds.
That's nice.
Yeah, it was super kind. And then he did die though, because the Bloodthirster does like 8 mortals or something at the end of the phase if he's alive. I don't know.
That sounds right.
Something silly like that. So the guard did die here. He did lose the Bloodthirster. He was 2-1 in title bouts.
Yeah. Moving on to the next picture we saw here from the van. This appears to be Peaches, right? I believe is the name of your gargantuan squiggoth.
There's Peaches. Yep. Peaches up against
Santa Claus.
Logan Grimner himself.
Yeah. How did you find orcs in your game of Tactics? Like we said at the top of the show, you took the edition off. You're kind of back in forcibly and by your own choice a little. How were your games?
My games are good. It was an RTT at X Planet here in, I guess it's in Mississauga, but that's adjacent to Toronto. And we had pretty cool guys in the field. My first game was against a guy named Steve playing Necrons, but not like super optimized Necrons. And we were both feeling it out. So I was able to get a real false sense of confidence out of that game playing Necrons.
Not me.
At the same time in the first round, Rich was playing the person who wound up in second, also playing Necrons, except
just a hard list.
Oof. So like 2 units of tricked out Lich Guard.
Yeah.
He had the Tomb Blades. He had
spikes. Those things are awesome.
He had the fucking octopus assassin dudes. Yeah, man, like that list was sick. I've never actually liked Necrons before until I've seen that until I saw that list playing. Necrons usually are just super boring and dumb. People like
If you jump down to the next picture, Dickie, I think you have a picture, Val, of you charging Peaches into the Silent Kang.
Yeah, that was a W as well against the Silent Kang. Yeah, took those Menhirs down pretty good.
How did that combat go? Big angry dinosaur versus a robot man.
Pretty sure Big Angry Dinosaur came out on top on that one. Although subsequently he did die. I don't think it was the Silent King that killed him. I can't remember what killed him. The Burnas got out after that and just lit things on fire. The Squig was holding 12 Burnas and the 3 rockets that they have to take now, which is just like probably. I don't know, probably like 10% of the table map is covered by the 12-inch torrent coming out of that fucking squig. Like
probably,
The sphere of destruction around him is comical. So he was able to like nuke on his own a unit of 20 warriors, which is where my false confidence came from. Which is not the same as a unit of Lich Guard with a 4-up invuln. 5-up feel no pain.
You res after the first wound. Yeah.
Resing constantly. So anywho, he bounced hard off the Lich Guard. Poor guy.
Yeah.
Poor Peaches.
He's looking good though.
Man, he always looks good.
Yeah.
And then I'm just gonna, before we move on, Dick, we're gonna go through your pictures here. I didn't understand the point of this picture apart from seeing the fabulous rear of your gargantuan squig.
I just wanted to see the butt. I took a picture of his butt.
This is Richard's photography here.
Yeah. Oh, it is?
Yeah,
that's classic.
That's a
I should have
shot.
known by the styling.
Also,
the classic.
Ironically, this picture was a Dickie 101.
Are
you telling me that Val can't take a picture of himself not using his phone, holding it in 2 hands?
Just trying to hang in there against a poor, browbeaten, editioned, just ruined Space Wolves player. Who was just who had like probably 10 minutes before he knew he shouldn't have done that, bought like used all of his pennies to buy a bunch of Wolfen, which he like dutifully still played with because that's what he had and he wanted to play with them, and they were just so sad. Anyway, it was a nice way to end by just absolutely colossally destroying a bunch of Space Wolves.
I do say you don't have the I hate this game face. So still
good.
pretty good. Pretty good. Dickie, you also went to this event. I'm assuming
Yeah.
you took World Eaters, I believe is you play? Some corn thing?
You would think I would have played them, but in fact I didn't. I brought Thousand Suns.
Oh, you dirty son of a bitch.
I bought a Thousand Suns army last year, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna give the old college try. They're an underperforming faction, right? So, yeah. Oh, jeez. Oh,
Dang.
They're not.
oh, sorry. No, I had a lot of fun. It's the first time I put them on the table, so I was a bit overwhelmed game 1, which didn't help my loss. But game 2 and 3, I got back on that treadmill and won 2. So yeah, felt good about it.
Nice.
Yeah.
And Dickie, Val, how do you guys end up for your RTT for the weekend?
I believe I included a screen cap for this.
You did. I didn't put it up though because it would ruin the leaderboard thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. What we're doing now as well, we're tracking wins and losses. Wins and losses matter, people. We're separating out the crew by wins, losses, draws.
This is gonna be awful.
The tiebreaker category of event wins, and this is what's going to keep me purely rooted at the bottom, and it gives Danny his monthly dose of feel good, as he can constantly see himself on top.
Right now he's 0.
Yeah, well, it's because we haven't had any.
I've won all 3 of the games of 10 that I played, so.
Yeah, but like event wins. Like
this is event
wins.
This
is not like beating up on poor Seth on TTS kind of wins.
Or beating up on poor John inside a
Poor
yurt.
Seth though. Poor Seth.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
We need to.
Yeah, is there a prize
any
at the end of
tears.
this? Did I just want to create a leaderboard for reasons? Who even really knows?
The AdSense money. We're playing for the AdSense money.
We're at the end of the year, whoever's number 1 gets all $3.
Oh man!
If you think we're gonna get $3,
if we crack $1, by the end of the year, I will double it.
I'm throwing $2 in myself here to really triple the pot.
I'm gonna start super chatting myself just so I can not feel so bad about it.
I actually did that at the LVO stream. I did a $50.
You did do that at the LPO stream.
Val, what's your thoughts? What's your say about being on top week 1 as the best player statistically on this show?
Yeah, this is like when you look up after round 1 at.
Sorry, I asked that question, Val, but Danny had a very concerned face that I said statistically.
Well, I don't understand, why is Val above Dickie?
Yeah, that is a great question.
Higher in the tournament.
He did. He finished literally 1 place higher. Yeah.
That was 10th. Dickie was out of the top 10.
This isn't notated though anywhere on this event. So what are we doing here?
I also realized, by the way, that I wasn't
changing the rules to suit my jokes.
I didn't include the fucking 10 points for having your shit painted, which apparently is still a thing. That's still a thing?
I don't think
it's still a thing.
So yeah, I robbed myself of 30 points. I could have probably placed even higher.
But your opponents didn't get those 10 points either.
Well, what does that matter?
Don't care about their point score.
Like Nick did just fine. Okay.
Okay.
Guys, let us know. Are you going to be Team Val, Team Dickie? You're going to be Team Danny? Those are all the smart choices. Do let us know in the comments or in chat as we continue on. Danny, we had some hobbying this week. I dropped by the store on Saturday. Saw you working away on a Leviathan box at a very busy pre-order event here in Anchorage, Alaska.
Yeah, we had quite the line. It was almost out the door. People coming in to buy their box. Yeah, it was a good day. I think I bet they sold like 70 boxes that day.
Yeah,
good for that. So, good for that FLGS.
Yeah. But yeah, I just hung out and talked 10th edition all day and built some Tyranids for my second Tyranid box. I'm excited to build the Marines to add to my Dark Angels.
Mm-hmm.
And I played a TTS game against Seth on Sunday.
How'd that go? Seth must have beat you, right? He's getting pro coaching from Stephen Box.
I know. Yeah, you would think that would help him, but it didn't. I tried to use like when I was making mistakes, I tried to make the mistakes that I was going to make and not try and like do it to any takebacks. So I only basically tabled his army by turn 3.
Was Seth playing Orcs?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Danny, of course, you played a perfectly balanced fair list. What were you
totally. I played
now?
Eldar.
Eldar, yeah.
I have to admit that I don't regret bringing the squig. But also my try hardiness does regret not bringing a list that maybe was less memey. Considering this will be the only event I probably get to do for a long time. So anyway, we'll man, I do love tournaments. I do love them.
Everyone embraced Mr. Heffelfinger. Everyone was super happy to see him when he walked in. So yeah, it was a good love.
Was it like a Norman Cheers style?
Yeah, it was actually played on the set of Cheers.
Yeah.
That's your intro music, is just the Cheers theme song.
Yeah.
Ted Danson was hitting on the one woman in the bar. It was great.
The one woman in the bar.
It's just like old times.
Well, to wrap this up here, I didn't play any games. I have a backlog of these at Fine Imperium magazines where I'm like, I'll subscribe to this.
Who has
this? Is a great deal. This is a great deal. But I now have 50 issues I hadn't actually assembled anything from that were sitting in the plastic. So I assembled a bunch of Necrons. I got like a Triarch Stalker assembled, a Chronomancer, who's my new favorite dude ever because like sexy Squidward is just great. Cool. Another 10 warriors, just a whole bunch of random crap, and it's kind of super fun just to sit there and build random things.
Shout out to Dickie who gave me his door prize.
Yeah.
So that I can add to my pile of pie. I bought some of the new commandos.
Hey, real quick, you guys talked about dials quite a lot. You getting free dials, and I asked specifically and angrily in all caps to show me the dials, and you guys never sent a picture of the dials. And I don't know if that's a joke.
I sent you a video.
I think there was a video about the dials. We forgot to add it to the show.
Yeah. Oh, too many video assets.
We not only got free dials, but we got.
I see a free water.
We got a free bottle of water.
Yeah, man.
Because it was hot.
It was real hot.
It was a hot, sweaty butt crack in there.
Yeah. It was.
Danny, how do you feel about this socialized water distribution going on in Canadian gaming?
John, as a red-blooded American, it always disappoints me to see, the dregs of society get to, coast off the backs of the hardworking Canadians here in this case.
Yeah.
And, it's really disappointing to see them handing out water to vagrants and other people that couldn't normally afford water because of their destitution due to a bankruptcy of Warhammer miniatures.
Wow.
Yeah.
Harsh.
Beautiful thing. I would give you guys a time to retort, but I'm sure you would just apologize. No,
I just point out that in most of Canada, we don't have to boil our water.
But should you? No. Yeah, perfect. Yeah. So, guys, that was State of Play. Keep it short, keep it sweet. A little bit of what we've been up to and who's going to end up on top. Spoilers, it's probably Danny. I don't play as much as I should. Val won't play as much as he should. Dickie probably does, but Danny is the only regular tournament goer. But yeah, sure. Put bets. Who's going to win?
To be honest,
really,
I think
Dickie's going to win.
That's who my money's on. I got
some big events this year. Yeah.
Oh, you do. Okay, well, Dickie versus Danny. Who you got? Who you got? Chat. Let us know. Yeah. Let's move on to our newest game show. And guys, I'm very excited about this. I worked with Dickie for solidly 10 minutes to make sure this would go off without a hitch.
Yeah.
Guys, it's time to play Professional I found in LinkedIn or 40K Professional.
Okay.
Yeah, I changed the title several times. That's okay. We're in our fantastic new game show set.
Yes. Look at that podium. You know how long I looked for a podium? That podium's sick.
Danny, I have so many microphones. Val, this is not a joke game. Comedy does not come from this game. And to make sure you guys know that, I have serious music.
Serious fucking game.
This is very serious. I'm going to pose each of you 3 questions, or 3 players, or 3 people's names, I should say, not to give the game away.
Yeah.
The question is simple. I'm going to tell you a name, and you're going to tell me if that is a 40K professional or someone that I found on LinkedIn.
Okay.
Is there any questions before we start this show?
Questions, but let's just do the game.
Perfect. Starting at the top of my screen, Danny, welcome to 40K Player or Professional. How are you today?
Excellent, John. I'm here. I'm ready to compete. I'm ready to crush Val into the dust.
Amazing. Val, it says here you're also ready to play. How are you feeling in this fine Monday evening?
It's game day, baby. I got my competitive hackles up. I'm ready for this.
Ooh.
Okay, we did a dice toss before the game started, and it came up with a 4, which wasn't helpful. So Danny will start.
Okay.
Danny, the first name, Brad Chester. Is
That's
that
someone you
a-
found on LinkedIn.
I was going to say neither
you sure?
professional nor 40K professional.
Yep.
Are you sure Brad Chester is someone I just found on LinkedIn? You don't believe
Yes.
he is a professional 40K player at all?
Not anymore. He's retired from the game. He's been medically retired, is what I've heard.
So
He
Danny
aged
is
out.
going for LinkedIn. Let us know in chat if you agree with this. This is very serious.
Very
There's
serious.
everything at stake.
Yep.
Dickie, reveal Brad Chester. No, I'm
Oh!
sorry, Danny. It's Death or Glory coach, and therefore 40K professional, Brad Chester.
There he is.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. So, Death or Glory? What do you mean by coach? Are they a professional 40K service?
They are. Yeah.
They are, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's
Yeah.
too bad.
Wow.
All right. Are we done with questions? You had a chance to ask questions at the start here. You're really ruining my atmosphere. Let me just. Okay.
Okay.
Gotta let the music rise back up to the
Okay.
range.
All right.
Serious.
Serious.
Mhm.
Val,
Yes. John.
your first name,
Okay.
and again, we're needing you to tell us if this is a professional 40K player
Right.
or someone I found on LinkedIn.
Okay.
Your name is Anthony Vanella.
Well,
Is Anthony Vanella pro 40K or just some professional I found on LinkedIn?
okay. Where do we like what kind of context clues are we even allowed to ask for here?
None.
None.
Not
So
zero.
it's just literally 50-50.
Yeah.
You have 50-50 of guessing.
I'm going to say Anthony Vanella is heavily involved in real estate, and he's from LinkedIn.
It's from
Son
LinkedIn.
of a bitch.
So you're saying Anthony Vanella is a realtor from LinkedIn and not a 40K professional. Essentially,
That's
you're
good.
telling
That's a
me
great guess.
That's what I'm telling
Vanella is not a professional 40K person.
Well, now when you say professional, do you mean wholly
Mhm.
professional or semi-professional? Because
I
there's
mean-
a difference there.
So, I mean, they either have a podcast, a coaching service, or some show. So it covers about 85%
Wait
of the
a minute.
Warhammer community.
Yeah. So if you okay, cool.
But
All right, let's see the
Chad's
answer.
wanting to know.
Chad's asking if it's Anthony or Antony because you pronounced it Anthony.
Yeah. Sorry, I
Or
used my
perhaps-
British accent for that.
Perhaps a
Anthony.
certain astute player noticed that the name was slightly different.
Hmm. But you said it was a professional from LinkedIn, specifically a realtor. Dickie says,
Nope.
it's a
damn it.
professional 40K player,
Actually, Anthony.
young Anthony Vanella.
Can you say his name right? Like, can we at least have some like fundamental ground rules here?
Absolutely not. Little Tony Vanoni is. You can find him weekly on StatCheck. I heard. And not selling
That's
houses,
true.
though. I don't know what he does in his spare time. So maybe
That
he
is a
does-
good question. Like,
It's not real estate.
what would his 9 to 5 possibly be?
I mean, I know what he does.
That's fascinating. Well, it's not our secret to tell.
Yeah,
That's
that's
Despite
right.
my real name being used in chat, I noticed.
It's fair.
This is getting too real.
Danny, are you ready for your second? 40K professional or professional I found on LinkedIn.
Okay.
Your name is Tim Penny or Timothy Penny, if you want to be just like really specific.
What
it.
about Tom Pawnee?
Nope, not that guy. That guy's absolutely the most professional 40K player
It's
I
true.
have ever seen.
Never seen such a fucking tryhard in my whole life. All right.
You weren't an X-Planet.
That's true.
See me shuffling a gargantuan squiggles around, sweating my dick off.
and then getting salty.
So for professionalism, so Chad doesn't yell at me, Timothy Penny,
Yep.
or Tim Penny, is he a 40K professional or a professional I found on LinkedIn?
All right. Okay. So I think I know the answer to this, but I'm not 100% sure. So, my recollection is that he's a member of the Dancing Bears dance troupe. It's an all male review. They go to a lot of bachelorette parties.
To be fair, though, This would not probably be something
Dancing-
he would put on his LinkedIn profile, though.
I also don't know if the
I
Dancing
don't know.
Bears troupe gets a lot of bachelorette parties, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, well,
Maybe in,
I know what you
Alaska
mean.
they do.
So, Danny, Tim Penny,
Yeah, professional dancer, LinkedIn. Lock it in,
LinkedIn,
John.
lock it in.
Lock it
so
in.
you're saying that Tim Penny
Yeah,
is not someone I found on LinkedIn.
is a
You're
professional male dancer. Yes,
He's a professional male dancer. Okay,
not an aircraft
Dickie.
controller.
load it up. No, it's Pro 40K person
Damn it.
and host of StatCheck's X and 1 game show.
Is it a game show officially?
I mean, no, I'm just obsessed with game shows now, but StatCheck's X and 1 show
All
on the
podcast
StatCheck-
genre now.
I know,
game
they're all
shows.
game shows now.
I can't wait till Play on Tabletop does a game show and just like gets 4 billion views off of it, and we're just like,
25 views, yeah.
Yeah, we're at
It's
30.
just them playing cornhole. Like it's
with the Dancing Bears.
Yeah.
there you go.
Oh,
They got
Tim,
budget.
you're looking beautiful
Yeah,
on
you're
a
looking-
picture I combed from his Facebook profile. But moving on, Val, your second person,
Okay.
Oof.
40K professional, or just professional,
Mm-hmm.
Vic VJ.
Did you say Vic BJ?
No. you said
BJ.
BJ.
Oh,
This is serious.
VJ Swing,
Danny,
man.
there's no
Fine.
jokes here.
sorry.
There's no
I'm so
jokes.
sorry. That was really unprofessional of me. Now that we're YouTube partners, I forgot. I
Yeah.
apologize.
So I'm a big fan of Vic VJ, and he's got such a just posh and delightful accent that there's
He does.
He
there's
does.
no way that
He
he's
does.
not an actual professional.
Yeah.
So therefore, I'm gonna say he's a professional on LinkedIn.
Professional LinkedIn, you're saying he is not a pro 40K player, like at all.
I'm saying that Vic VJ has a very good job.
Okay. So this, by the way, you guys are both at 0. So Val, if you get this right, this puts you in the lead.
Yep.
You're saying Vic VJ is a professional I found on LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm.
Dickie, give us the answer. No, he's a pro 40K player. He's a host of Fireside Chat and a UK superstar.
Is he doing coaching services?
I said professional very loosely right here. As someone who
Oh,
has a
come on,
podcaster
man.
show.
Oh,
I
okay.
listened to the last podcast. He seemed very professional in knocking down 10th edition every aspect of it. So,
Actually,
yeah.
he let his co-host get his hands dirty,
yeah.
like a true professional, and then cleaned it up after. But all right, okay, cool.
All right, John.
I
Interesting.
see how
that
this.
you've
I
only
see how this
chosen-
game is. I see how this game works. So far, you have
Yeah.
not taken the opportunity to just find someone else named Vic VJ.
I mean, that's
Like,
what I
it's-
was expecting this entire time. So,
Basically, I've been expecting the gang to
Don't
be
worry,
that
Val,
these are
your
all
next
people we
guest-
know.
yeah. Your next guest will be like Nick Nanavati, but it'll be, Nick Nanavati who lives in Las Vegas or
A
something.
baloney salesman
yeah.
from Newfoundland.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
both after 2 guesses each. The score is 0-0.
No points.
Or 0-0. Danny, your next name. And
All right.
again, the goal is you tell me if it's a 40K personality. We want to make it simpler here.
Just
Or
moving those
professional on
goalposts.
LinkedIn. Innes Wilson.
He doesn't have a job.
Yeah, because I definitely wouldn't say professional. If
Personality?
it's the guy I'm
Borderline.
thinking of. I'm gonna go with LinkedIn professional John. I'm just gonna keep this train rolling.
No, all
I'm
on
gonna
black.
double down. I'm putting all the chips in. Like that's it.
Wow.
Yeah, definitely.
So this will win. This could possibly win you the game if
Yeah.
you got this one right.
I know.
You want to
John,
say,
look,
yeah.
Okay,
fool
someone
me
in-
once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me a further third time.
Friendship
But-
over.
Yeah, that's it. We're done.
you're not gonna fool me again,
It's fair.
Yeah.
as
yeah.
a very wise former president once said.
Okay, you have Innes Wilson not being a 40K personality, but instead
Yep.
being some random I found on LinkedIn.
Apparently, a bus
Yes.
driver.
Okay, also cheating.
It's like-
Dickie, the answer is. Oh, he's a 40K personality. Come on,
Son
now.
of a bitch.
He's
Hey,
actually-
Wearing a Team Canada
this wasn't
jersey.
easy
Yeah,
too.
Team
to
Canada.
miss.
And he's got a coaching service now too.
Yeah. He does.
Wow.
Yeah, perfect.
Does he
Good
just
for him.
tell you that you're shit?
Yeah.
I feel like that's what Ennis Wilson's coaching service is. Oh,
I
come
think it's
on, man.
more
That's
like-
crap.
He looks at the table that you're playing on and he tells you that the terrain is garbage. I think that's kind of a no for coach.
Okay.
Uh,
We have one more left. Then Val, this could win you the whole game.
I got
This
it.
could win you all of our YouTube ad revenue for the next month.
Woo.
All 37 cents Canadian of it.
The stakes are being raised moment to moment.
Okay.
Oh,
Can we get a dramatic lighting shift at least? Someone.
Yeah, can you get this in yellow, or red, or orange?
So all we have
Danger colors.
all we have budget for is that background music.
Yeah.
John has. Yep.
Gotta get way more super chats before I change colors for the last question.
Yep.
Peter Colissimo,
Uh-huh.
is that a 40K personality or someone I found in LinkedIn?
Say the name again?
I say
I
it
want
wrong
to hear
every
him say it
time.
again.
You said the name. Peter the Falcon.
No,
But
Peter.
not
No,
specifically
no,
that
no,
one.
no. Peter
Colosimo?
Colosimo
Colosimo.
was someone that you found on Cameo who worked at a pizza place.
No, that was actually someone else. He was an Italian-themed pizza wrestler.
Yeah, that's Peter Colosimo. You found him on LinkedIn. He's a LinkedIn professional. He's a pizza wrestling professional on LinkedIn.
So no relation at all to your longtime co-host and collaborator, and now Goon and 40kstats.com guru, Peter the Falcon. You think it's just a random professional I found on LinkedIn?
Well, that other person you mentioned is a bird, so they're not going to be on
So
LinkedIn.
that's impossible. Yeah.
Possible. Dickie.
Yep.
Throw up the answer. Yeah, no, it's not. He's a 40K personality.
Yep. It even has a bird on the statue there.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
if that guy changed his
yeah.
facial hair, it wouldn't be such a tough crowd, I don't think.
Yeah, so that's 0-0 to all of you. Not a
You
single
guys
one
sucked.
right.
Damn.
Yeah.
You guys
Jeez.
all went the LinkedIn route. Why was that? Can I just ask real quick?
Well, I was just waiting for the bit to reveal itself, and
really.
it never really materialized.
No, you're not wrong there.
No, yeah, you kind of ruined the
Yeah,
entire
you
bit. but
literally
that's
ruined
okay.
it all.
No, I'm pretty sure we
Wait a
made the
minute,
bit.
wait
I'm
a
pretty
minute.
sure we made the bit.
Yeah, I think we really sold this, and not a soft sell or a no sell. This was a hard sell, John,
Let's go back
and
up
we
to the
still
top
did it.
one here.
Yeah.
Let's go back up to the Brad Chester slide here real
Yeah.
quick, Dickie. We'll do a thing here.
He is a beautiful unicorn.
So a beautiful unicorn.
nice.
So we're like, say maybe you guessed, hey, I think Brad Chester is a 40K personality, right? That's a fair guess. Then I would just have Dickie do this. And we would just go play it.
Oh, but
But
we could never get one right.
Yeah.
So yeah, you would never win.
But you could. Yeah, all right. I mean,
All right.
so I had guessed the bit, but you guys
You had
didn't
guessed the
roll.
bit.
Yeah,
But you
yeah.
guys didn't roll with what we were giving you.
that's right.
It's yes and, guys. It's yes and. All right.
No, I
We'll
don't
do
think
some.
so.
We'll do some improv games after the show.
Oh, do we have to?
There's Vic VJ, data infrastructure and analytics. That actually is Vic VJ.
Yeah. Amazing. So, well, guys, we have a tiebreaker segment that we want to run now because you both lost.
Yeah, give us the give us the LinkedIn Peter Klaus.
Look at that guy.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Nova Entertainment.
Damn.
That's the best part for me is because it was Nova related.
Dancing Bears for sure in that one, in that
Yeah.
portfolio.
Okay, guys, for a tiebreaker, we're going to go back to our favorite tiebreaker, and let's go pull up our second new bumper. Val, Danny, please don't talk. You can't hear it yet, but they can. I worked a very short amount of time on this.
Go ahead.
Guys, it's time for Falcon Fiction.
Hmm.
Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep.
Now,
Where-
maybe.
Enhance.
In the grim darkness of the
Hey, it works.
realms,
Oh,
where heroes
shit.
rise and legends
Oh,
are
state of
born.
play.
That's not the right one.
There's a
There it
set
is.
that'll
Oh, there
take
it
us
is.
on a flight into the depths of imagination, shining bright.
Do you know what kind of falcon that is, John?
Welcome
Peregrine.
to Falcon Fiction, Tales Untold, where Warhammer
That's the kind of
40,000
falcon that we
stories
sponsored
unfold.
for Pete.
With every turn of the page, a new saga
talking over
begins.
poetry
Buckle
right
up,
now.
hold on tight, let the adventure begin.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Falcon Fiction to settle all competitions now. It's our tiebreaker. Welcome back to Falcon Fiction. As you know, we trained a voice AI to read our favorite fan fiction in the beautiful tones of Peter the Falcon. And this week, it's a doozy. Sadly, all the stuff I found that already existed was either too incomprehensible or too foul to be read on YouTube. So we went to the only source we knew about, this guy here. Maybe. Yeah.
Enhanced.
Nope. Up one. ChatGPT.
Oh.
ChatGPT. We had ChatGPT write a summary of a new 40K TV show. Pay attention. There will be a question at the end, and whoever gets it right wins the entire game, an entire month of YouTube income.
Woo.
Wow.
Okay.
Penny, are you ready?
No, but you know what, John? I'm going to give it my all. I came here to play the game, and I came here to crush Val into the dirt.
Al, are you ready to either win or be crushed into the dirt by Danny?
I'm as ready as any LinkedIn professional has ever been.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Let me pick the right Falcon Fiction this time. Let's go.
Okay.
In a wildly unexpected fusion of universes, the grim adventures of the Golden Girls brings together the dark, war-torn future of Warhammer 40,000 and the golden years of the lovable ladies from Miami, the Golden Girls. As a warp anomaly rips through the fabric of reality, the Imperial Inquisition finds themselves transported to a quaint retirement community where Blanche, Dorothy, Rose, and Sophia reside. The hardened Inquisitor Eisenhorn, accompanied by his retinue, is bewildered by the sudden change, but soon realizes that chaos has followed them into this unlikely setting. While enjoying their afternoon tea, the Golden Girls quickly discover the grimness lurking beneath the surface of their peaceful neighborhood. Xenos creatures from distant planets and cultists of chaos start to appear, threatening the safety of their beloved community. Unwilling to sit idly by, the Golden Girls band together with Eisenhorn's forces to defend their home and fight back against the encroaching darkness. As the mismatched group battles enemies, they learn to appreciate each other's unique qualities. Dorothy's sharp wit complements Eisenhorn's strategic brilliance. Blanche's confidence brings a touch of charm to the grimness. Rose's innocence provides unexpected insights, and Sophia's wisdom keeps them grounded in reality. The grim adventures of the Golden Girls explores the clash of personalities, as the Golden Girls' comedic banter provides moments of levity amidst the unrelenting grimness of the Warhammer 40,000 universe. Together, they confront their own mortality and redefine what it means to be heroes, reminding each other that even in the darkest of times, friendship and laughter can prevail. As the battle reaches its climax, the Golden Girls and Eisenhorn's forces emerge victorious, bringing an end to the chaos that threatened their world. And while they may return to their respective lives, the bond formed between these unlikely heroes will forever be cherished, a testament to the enduring power of friendship, no matter how grim the circumstances may be.
Amazing. Some quality Falcon Fiction right there.
That was actually the Falcon, wasn't it?
Yeah.
God damn it. It took a week for you to notice that I switched out the AI for actual Falcon.
That was very good. That was very
Gave
good.
him a choice of 3 to read, and he asked me to pick one of 2 of them.
They were all Golden Girls themed, though.
No, they weren't. But we're saving some for the future. I'm going to ask a weird question. Danny, Val, do you have a pen or some way to write something down? Just for ultimate fairness.
Yeah, okay. Should I do it on the whiteboard?
No, just pay a paper.
Nah, it's fine.
What am I going to write it on, though, John? That's the question.
Who has paper?
Or, yeah,
I still have my $69 bid from last week.
beautiful.
Put it on.
I have this small card that I'm going to write.
Yeah, perfect. Makes
That
sense.
works. So
Okay.
I hope you guys paid attention to that last clip of fiction, because I have a very serious question for you guys here.
Okay.
Let's pull up the next slide, Dickie, so they know how serious it is. If I was to field an army of 46 Chaos Cerastus Knight Lancers and 3 units of 5 Necron Immortals, how many points over 2,000 will I be? Your 30 seconds starts now. Let me just...
Wow. That came in real hot.
Yeah, it was really loud initially. Pete was pretty quiet with his levels.
Oh, I need to write it down. Sorry, I'm writing it down.
I'm locked in.
All right, you guys locked in? We good to go?
No, hold on. Yeah, I got it. Just let me write it down real quick.
Cool. Right. So in chat, Sam Lemon coming in saying it's 420.69 points. I don't think that's how much it is.
Oh, wow. Elon Musk is in chat. Good joke.
Yeah. What did you write? 420.69?
I did.
Yeah.
I went with the outline
That
of my
clearly
hand.
wins this. That's amazing.
Oh,
Thank you, Sean Connery.
Correct answer. I guess the closest without going over Price is Right rules. If I have to choose between a drawing of a hand or 420.69, the closest to 16,840, which is the answer, would be Danny. Danny, you win this month's ad revenue.
Hell yeah, dude.
Don't spend it all in one place.
I'm going to use it to put a down payment on a new house.
In Detroit, maybe.
A vacation home. Yeah, in Detroit. I do have to boil my water there, Val.
Now, come on. That's Flint. Let's be kinder to the people of Detroit.
Oh, as always, we here at Grim After Dark comb the internet looking for the highest highs and the lowest lows in the weird world of Warhammer. And this week, as always, has been a doozy. Wir beginnen unsere Nachrichten dieser Woche in Deutschland. With this next slide. Danny, Val, German T.O. has taken time to heavily FAQ the edition before it was even released.
Own shift. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we can still fit some dick jokes in here. It was a massive FAQ, with some of the feedback being that it was trying to make it more like 9th and not kind of respecting the uniqueness of 10th as an edition. Danny, what's your take on this? Because it was a massive FAQ.
John, I have to say, this is a massive hit and a miss. This isn't the way that we get stuff done. We need parity, and we need people all playing the same game to show things that are bad. So if you're not doing that, yeah, would this make the game maybe more fun? Maybe, but what's
the point of that?
It's just basically making it 9th edition, and that sucks.
I'm now trying to think of the German for make 9th, 10th, 9th again.
Make 10th, 9th again. How does that even go on a hat?
Yeah, I mean, you skipped the edition, but do you feel like a lot of the changes they made for this year, where they quote unquote fixed towering, they're limited what Wraith Knights were able to do. Really, anything that really jumped out of the gate as being super broken, was quote unquote fixed by them, and they did use the terms like 9th a lot. As someone who's filmed a lot of 40K, streamed a lot, played a lot, what's your take on big community FAQs nowadays?
Yeah, well, first of all, I want to shout out the real pieces of shit in the community who made a lot of Nazi allegories to the impingement of freedom and free speech represented by these TOs, and they can go fuck themselves.
Oh yeah, I saw that poster. Piece of shit.
I think that the community outrage to a group of TOs doing what they think is right for their own local community is bullshit. And quite frankly, whether or not these are the right changes to be made, or whether or not in the fullness of time we'll find that GW might tack towards some of these very changes, I don't care what they're doing to running events in Germany. The people who are going to these events are the ones who decide whether or not it's rules they want to play under.
Could you
we have in this community, we have different packs that govern how terrain operates. People make changes to how mission packs operate. Why not be able to? You can FAQ your own event if you want.
But that's okay, Val. Just to counter your point there a little bit, I think that making it 1 or 2 changes to terrain are significantly more than the 10 bullet points or so that are on this list. And these are significant, completely game altering changes to so it's fine if they want to do what they want to do for their own area, but I also don't want any decisions to be made based on data that comes from this kind of this kind of play.
Germany got shredded for the reaction to Germany. By the way, I mean, I'm 2 or 3 years out of date, but going back even into the 7th edition era, they have a very defined 40K community. They've got a lot of WTC/ETC championships. They had an analogous circuit to the ITC for Germany itself. I don't know if it still exists. They are a mature 40K culture, right? So if they determine that, you know, these are not, they don't feel like these are fun or competitive rule set that's been presented by GW. That's their decision to make. It's up to the players to go.
Oh,
These
yeah.
are probably not the only events available to play in Germany, I would assume.
Also, I believe,
yeah.
could you imagine, Danny, going to a tournament and someone be like, hey guys, the guys in Germany, they're doing things different now. And I'd be like, okay.
But I mean,
well, okay, but John, you didn't have to live through that because that's a reality for people who played a lot of 8th edition fantasy.
Mhm.
Because the Swedish comp system was pervasive through many countries, and many countries and tournaments use that stuff. So the fact that just because Germany posted this, but I mean, you could, and for example, you could say the same thing about 7th edition 40K when the ICC FAQ came out and numerous other countries adopted that. So I mean, that would be kind of the same thing. Like, look what these guys in America, look what these idiots in America are doing. We're going to copy it too, and being like, who the fuck are these guys? What do these guys get to make the rules?
But, well, I would like to point out that there was a very important organization that copied the ITC FAQ called Games Workshop for 7th edition, almost to the letter. And I think
eventually,
towards the end, they had remember the draft FAQ they released. That just and I don't even know if they ever circled back to it. But I guess I don't know. I feel like. I believe that an independent community is the only check, because we're not going to stop buying. We're not going to stop we're not going to stop giving them money. So like if having a community that's playing from the, you know, singing from the same hymn book is important to Games Workshop, then they need to do what they've done in the past, which is to create a rule set that is agreeable. Like look at 9th edition, the mission, like in 8th edition, we did not play GW missions, period, full stop, anywhere. They played a variety of different mission packs. GW came out with something that was very agreeable to the community. And I, by the way, think that the 10th edition missions are also agreeable by and large to the community. You know, like maybe they don't scratch the itch of the tipiest tier, but by and large, I think that the reception has been positive. You know, but all it takes is for GW to be competent, and this goes away. This will just go away. So I put this on. I think this is a symptom of a real botched initial launch, and we'll get the kinks out, I'm sure of it, in the next 3 to 6 months. But in the meantime, why play a broken game if you don't have to?
Yeah, and
that's a good point.
Just to agree with Val, the person who posted a response to this by using Nazi analogies, you're just a piece of shit, man. I really hope you stop playing. Hey, a little less serious now. I just want to get that out of the way. Is a user in the always positive group, 40K Death Guard players, made this statement. Honestly, I wish Warhammer had the Sisters of Nurgle. Guys, what are they? Is that some kind of weird fantasy thing that I don't know about?
No. This is just some horny Death Guard player, I think.
That's a horny Death Guard player. That is trying to get a, like, Bubelius pustule-laden titty resin 3D printed is all that's hoping for.
I love it when they pop right in my face.
Oh, carbuncles.
So how do you guys see Sisters of Nurgle playing on the tabletop if it were a faction and not just someone's jerking material?
Probably better than Death Guard.
Ooh.
That's low. That's very accurate and hurtful, but low.
Yeah, I would imagine they probably have some kind of faith dice, like some infection dice kind of thing. Maybe you can start subbing out your opponent's dice rolls with your dice rolls.
Oh God, I would love
that. Sounds like a really fun
so
mechanic.
Yeah, that sounds fantastic.
Did you imagine I made that charge? No, you didn't.
I mean, this is
a couple of twos.
You know, this is an interesting point, though. Why, like, we have like some interesting representation in the Slanesh column of the female form. But I mean, are there examples of like non-Slaneshi females in Chaos?
In a recent book,
in fantasy, Valkia.
Yeah, that's one I was thinking about.
Like Sisters of Battle fell to,
she's Corn, right?
Nurgle or Corn, and the latest that one.
Yeah. I haven't been following. I feel like AOS might have a few like Whirling Dervish type like Cornate models that are maybe female.
I think some of the Zinch cultists are females too. Yeah.
Why not? Why not Nurgle ladies?
Yeah, why not?
Get down in that garden. I'm sure it's a probably a very favorable way to give Nurgle's blessings.
Yeah,
That's true.
Gross. What is, Danny?
Just
You're
get
gonna
some
help us out
antibiotics.
as the game playing guru. What is the Nurgle design aesthetic gameplay wise? What do you think they're going for creating Nurgle or Death Guard as an army?
Like currently,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would say that they're a slow but tough plotting force that has they have good reliability on their weapons because basically everything is lethal hits, which is pretty cool. And they have some interesting ways to influence battle shock. I think that's kind of cool too.
Mm-hmm.
I say just play them as counts as Necrons.
That's the plan. That's probably these are Necrons who haven't lost their cancerous bodies yet.
I also don't think they're nearly as bad as everyone's saying that they are. I think they're probably pretty okay.
I'm just repeating things I've heard at other places. I have no idea. I couldn't tell you one thing Death Guard actually do. So I am what they call a charlatan.
It's fair.
Agreed.
There was, however, worse to be found in that group. 40k Death Guard players coming in strong with content this week for us.
Oh, great.
As this user posed the following question: has anyone, and I'm going to read this here, has anyone here used dried mealworms as a basing material?
I have a story about this.
I wasn't sure how they held up after some time. Also, are there other dried grubs that are smaller that could be used?
Jeez.
I got like Quennell with Sunny quote in my head now. Like, Danny, you bitch, have you thought of the smell?
I mean, it's a step up from the Cheetos basing.
Doritos.
Sorry, the Doritos
Cheetos,
basing. But yeah.
I had a fantasy Nurgle army, and I ended up gluing, like mixing in some strands of or grains of rice in with my basing material.
Oh,
when I glued stuff on, and then I painted them up as like maggots or like grubs like this, and it came out really cool.
well, that is really cool.
It's also not corpses of bugs.
True.
Look,
how would you guys react if you played someone who used dead mealworm as basing
Are they
material for
lacquered?
the army?
Yeah, you'd have
Like
to.
God, you would hope so.
Yeah.
Also, are you painting them, or are you just gluing them on and just letting whatever however they look? Right.
I hope you're painting them. That's like.
I think
Hilarious.
he's trying to get a cheap way of basing without having to paint. So yeah, let's just assume wood glue, unpainted, unlacquered.
Well, my pet lizard would have a real hard time just showing restraint, of course.
Do you have a pet lizard, Bill?
No, just a dinosaur.
No.
His name's
Talking about his penis.
That into what we like to call alternate protein in this case.
Hey, look, what they did with the Impossible Burger was amazing, and you got to know that insect proteins will be a delicious beef patty at some point in our near future.
And if you haven't had crickets, I think they're excellent, especially when they're
crickets are actually
seasoned
really
correctly.
good.
Apparently, actually,
We'll
a
put them
really
on a
good,
base, though.
sustainable source of protein for us.
Chad coming in strong here saying, God, the Doritos basing probably smells really bad at this point. I would argue with the amount of preservatives that those chips are covered in, I would doubt it.
Probably great.
They're good to eat, I'm sure.
So I'm pretty sure his dog ate the bases. So I think they're dog shit. So,
Which he then turned into Nurgle bases. So perfect.
perfect. The circle of life.
Circle of life.
Jack Kwan coming in saying, I bought some used armigers and there were chicken wing bones on the bases.
Oh,
Wow.
Come on.
come on.
So Danny, you've
I hope,
used
I
rice.
hope that's a half retail or less purchase.
Yeah.
Danny, you've used rice on bases. Val, have you had any unusual basing tools or things you've used on bases?
No, I just buy my way out of problems, man. I just get products and sprinkle it on.
What's your guys' go-to?
I've used tea for basing material, like a tea packets that I cut open.
Yeah,
It makes cool flock.
Yeah.
And it smells really good.
Yeah, I bet actually.
what's your go-to basing scheme? Both of you guys.
I'm a sucker for the pre-mixed goop that GW does. So I'll usually just put that down and dry brush something, and boom, that's it.
I
print a lot of
Warhammer
resin
color
bases. I print a lot of resin bases too. Yeah.
Yeah. Danny, your go-to?
So it's changed over the years, and I would like associate different armies with different basing schemes, and I'm probably going to rebase most of my stuff. I've really been liking painting the Martian bases, and I use the GW Goop, but I have a couple of different steps, and like the quality of them has been really high. They look really nice, so I think I'm probably going to rebase most of my armies like that.
Nice.
And chat, as always, is helpfully pointing out that there are much cheaper hobby options from people like Vallejo or AK or whatever MIG is.
AK does a lot of great stuff.
To be fair, if we were to buy those, then no one could accuse us of being GW shills.
That's my problem.
Right, we got an image to upkeep. Folks,
and you can't buy all your gaming supplies at friendlygaming.org like that texture paint using our affiliate link that you can probably find somewhere. I keep forgetting to put it in notes.
Maybe at grimafterdark.com.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
you put that in there yet?
Yeah, experiment a little.
Oh yeah, go crazy.
Yeah,
it's only a $40 model.
That's what John's mom always says.
Yeah.
Hey,
you know when you're hitting 80, then that's when that should happen.
True.
It's true.
Get your mind out of the gutter.
Competitive players, and especially competitive Chaos players, are going to bend the rules to maximize their advantage.
Yep.
But this Chaos Knight player bent more than just the rules, as he right here posed his Forge World Knight in a submissive yet breedable position. Danny, Val, what is the worst example of modeling to advantage that you've seen?
The immediate thing just
readable.
Dude, I wasn't going to laugh until I looked up and saw Danny. God damn.
The most immediate thing that springs to mind is in 7th edition, the Revenant Titan could be taken in certain formats, and often it was posed taking a knee, so he was half as tall.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. He was a real piece of shit, that model.
There was a long period of time, unfortunately, where people had to really crack down on modeling for advantage because people would put their Wraith Lords down, like kneeling and that kind of stuff, like
I saw a Wraith
so that
Lord
they could hide it behind
knees.
other units. What's that?
I saw a Wraith Lord like hugging his knees, like literally crouching down, arms around. And then they would tell you like a 5-minute backstory about why he's crouching down.
Get out of here.
Like, don't
Just to justify it, right?
Yeah.
Also, this Titan has like some severe hip dysplasia. I don't think they're even like this. Like that's Frog's post
in the warp. It's like
He's taking a nap. He's just taking a nap, guys. Just one little nap.
Like a little bulldog hanging out by an AC vent.
Yeah.
it does look exactly like that. Yeah.
Sam Lemon checking in. He heard about someone who reposed all of their guard models to be in a prone sniping position. Danny, we had a guy locally who had an all grot army where he replaced all of his everything. Every grot was a count as at work, but he didn't really do anything to make them taller.
Yeah, and he also used only the old trucks.
Yeah, only old trucks.
Oh my goodness!
Like,
the pickups.
Like 2
it's like a
inches
double
tall.
whammy.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I guess you could put the Wraith Knight on large tactical rocks. Yes, absolutely. If anything required a tactical rock, it's a Wraith Knight, so you could see more of the board. Have you guys ever modeled for advantage?
I modeled for disadvantage. I've been claimed to have modeled for advantage, but really it's like pretty neutral. If you put stuff that doesn't normally go on bases, some people don't like that. Like I played with bikers on 60mm bases for a long time, and it looked really cool. But some people were like really bent out of shape about it. I don't really understand why. I thought that was kind of a stupid complaint.
Because you win a lot up here, and people trying to find any reason to complain about it.
The closest
he only wins because he has a tactical rock on his base. Fuck off! No, he doesn't.
The closest thing that I've ever done that like skirted the rules was when I refused to base Storm Boys on 25mm and put them on 32mm bases because they're all really tall and like so top heavy.
Oh yeah.
And they look awesome on 32s. And I was like, I'm not. I'm just.
And in
not
Canada, you guys turned all your money plastic, so you couldn't even weigh down the bases to keep them upright.
We actually have a proud tradition of coinage in this country, as you should know. Both
the $2 coin is really beautiful.
It's a toonie, man. It's a bimetal. Yeah. Bimetal, bud.
Doesn't the work range look like a billion times better on 32s? Like it just looks so much better. Yeah.
Everything looks better on the bigger bases. Period. Like
I
that.
agree.
It's funny actually from the fantasy side of things. Like the larger, I was waiting for like the base apocalypse to come because of the fact that they're raising everyone the minimum base size. But for the most part, like everyone is kind of like, oh, that's way better. Like like it is clearly a nicer thing to not have everyone crammed together on tiny bases. So yeah. They look good.
About it.
Awesome. Danny and Val and Dickie thrown here too. I'm still struggling with list building in 10th and our detachmentless world. But this guy, I feel in the Blood Angels forum, has mastered it. So Danny, Val, if you could give us a little tactical review here of this 2,000 point list he created. We have 3 Space Marine captains, 3 Phobos captains, 3 Gravis captains, 3 Terminator captains, 3 Primaris captains, 3 captains on bikes, 3 captains in jetpacks, with jump packs, and Memphiston. A perfectly legal 2,000 point list. Thoughts on this list, Danny?
Real MSU.
I think it probably sucks. I don't think it's probably very good. But I don't know. I haven't played against it, and at 9th is still really new. This could be a thing, I guess. These guys all have a lot of wounds, and they all have invul saves, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
How would you win with this list, Val? What you doing?
Hiding, I guess. I don't know. This does remind me a lot of when I my first 8th edition tournament, where I was like I was like really psyched about this like real like nice Tau thing I was doing with like marker lights and shit and like their seeker missiles, whatever they were called. And then
that's right.
And like in that event, like you could only target, I believe you could only target characters. You could only target characters if they were the closest model, I think, in the original launch of 8th edition. So, and I ran into like the first guy that was like, oh, I'm just going to spam characters. So there was just like, it's just like one Calexis assassin at the front of his army. That was the only thing I could target with my, like all of my seeker missiles. He was just like, good game, sir. I was just completely stymied by this guy. So it reminds. Also, this immediately makes me sad because I have always harbored a secret desire to make an X-Men army of just the assassins, and you just, because of the way they set up the rules, you absolutely can't do that. But it also makes me relieved that I never did do it, because along with the 45 Stormboys that I put into a box in my in my storage shed that I can never play again, because they dropped the unit size from 20 to 10. I would also have a lot of assassins.
Yes. All right, guys, we're going to skip the rest of the slideshow. We're going to the next last week, and we're going to go wrap things up a little bit with listener questions. We're going far too long again, new formatting and stuff, so I didn't actually pay attention as I should. Our first listener question here comes from Mark, who asks, are you guys having more fun with Shatterpoint or 10th? I would say 10th because I haven't played Shatterpoint yet. Danny?
Yeah, me too. I really want to play Shatterpoint. I still need to build my stuff, John, and we need to play.
Yeah. And John, what is your favorite? I think you should leave skip from season 3. It changes constantly, Mark. Right now, Driving Crooner is high up there. It's quite fantastic. Our next question here comes from Paul Winters. Danny, what is your favorite 10th edition bad take?
Oh my God, there are so many to choose from.
There's a lot.
I mean, I could talk about this for like an hour.
Yeah, if you could keep it to like 30 seconds, though.
I don't know. Here's one. The one that I really thought was terrible is that Battle Shock was completely worthless.
Hey, my big squig definitely disagrees. Yeah. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome.
My actually, I was listening to a I don't know, is it a sister podcast now? I don't even know, but why am I blanking on the name? Fellow
FLG affiliates.
I don't even know if it is. Anyway, it's the one with Weiermueller's on it. It's the judges. It's the judges show. Anyone remember? Why am I blanking on this? Dickie, help me. Why?
The Amazon?
Yeah. Solus.
How am I not remember? Chat.
Yeah.
How? Ooh. My brain is a piece of shit.
Wow.
TNG Radio.
Yes.
TFG radio.
TFG.
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 Thank you, guys.
TNG is their side
Fucking
hustle.
game
Yeah.
radio.
Thank you, guys.
TFG radio, basically talking about how the game is very complex and it's just not possible to get all the rules right out of the gate. So we just feel bad for GW. They'll get it straightened out.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then last one here, and it's not a slide for it because it came in very late, but I loved it so much because it was a genuine question, which is new for us. Not this one here. This is just some prick who called me and Danny fat through a comment on an old video we made. But this one here came in again from Mark.
True and hurtful, but
I mean, it's true. And I'm like, but here's the.
I also love
thing.
that the Terminator take short continues to get indignant comments. Like it lives
God, people
forever.
get so mad about that Terminator.
People are
one.
still commenting on that Terminator take. It's fantastic.
Guys, I just also want to point out, if you try and hurt Danny or I emotionally, you literally can. Like there's
It's impossible.
it's
There's
literally
a void
impossible.
where my feelings are.
Yeah. So yeah, Mark says, as I'm chuckling at Danny's "That's what she said" in response to "Here's your first box." What is your guys' personal favorite joke from Grim After Dark? And follow up, what is the one joke you loved that just didn't hit? So we'll go through everyone with us here. Feel free to shout out whenever. Let's just do a mass crowd.
My favorite joke was actually happened fairly recently. It was the president joke. I was really, really proud of that was just like off the cuff. I felt very, very
Didn't land at
powerful.
all. Yeah.
It was really good.
The joke landed great.
Yeah.
The one that didn't land good that I really liked was probably calling the guy from Blood from the Blood God bitch.
Yeah.
That one just didn't go as well as I thought it would. I thought
Who could have foreseen that?
But he sure didn't.
Who could have possibly foreseen that or told you not to do that beforehand?
No one.
Certainly
I don't
not
know.
this guy.
Maybe they should have. It seems really irresponsible of you not to do that, John. To be honest,
Literally did. You can't be contained. Dickie, Val, what about you guys?
power is infinite.
I gotta go with. I don't know if it was a joke, but it was an early episode in which Nick Nanavati appeared and just smoked himself off the planet.
Wasn't that when your computer updated halfway through streaming and it all shut down? We left him unattended for 20 minutes.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, we had to come back in, and when we came back in, he was an alien, and it was.
We talked about. Remember, we asked him, like, "Hey, have you thought about like cutting the team in half and like having them play against each other?" He's like, "Yeah, but like, what half of Richard Siegler goes on Mark Perry's body?"
That was
Dickie, what you got?
I think it was the short where we made fun of Frontline Gaming terrain. That I really loved that joke, and it just didn't play. And I was like, man, that was so good. But
It was a really good. Well, so that was a great joke. That was when we were still kind of like officially an FLGM podcast, and I just like ripped on terrain placement of their tournaments.
Oh, I got that. Got me a phone call. I got a phone call.
I got you a phone call.
Yeah, I got a phone call off of that one. So one of the rare. The only times I ever got calls was when people's feelings were hurt, because those guys they do work very hard there.
They do work very hard.
And so when that hustle is ever called into question, the big dog is looking out for his people. So I appreciated the concern. I would like to say my favorite fail bit. I'm pretty sure it was on this show when I called out Greg, the Dark Angels player from Goonhammer, for being the worst the worst Dark Angel player. Do you guys remember that?
No, what was that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I went pretty deep. I pulled up the ITC. I feel like I pulled up the ITC rankings.
You went deep.
It showed that he was like the worst Greg, right? Yeah,
He was the worst Greg.
it was good. It was really good.
But meanwhile, some Greg somewhere is just going about his life, and like there's just some guy calling him out for being the worst Greg. So that wasn't great. Basically, when we're mean to real people who don't deserve, you got to punch up in this business of being a partner on YouTube. You can't punch down. I think that's what we have to learn.
When Danny told Mikey Herbert for Hellstorm that he had shitty opinions and a shitty FAQ.
And then we had him on the next week.
And we both forgot about it and had him on the next week.
No, it was like months later. In fact, I had totally forgotten the fact that
and he came out on fire too.
Yeah, dude.
It was good.
It was good. My favorite would still be when I paid out of my own pocket to have Luigi an Italian pizza chef themed independent wrestler, to do a cameo, asking Reese to have a commentary team at LVO of Peter the Falcon, Camilleri, and Rob the Honest Wargamer.
Yeah.
And Reese.
No, that wasn't part of it, because my favorite part of that was Val getting the phone call, which apparently you get a few phone calls from the show back in the day of, yeah, what do you need me to do? I'll do whatever you need. I'm like, no, just no.
The fact that joke did not land at all, and that Reese actually thought that the pizza man was asking him to be on the stream was an extra meta bit of excellent humor.
Fantastic.
That was good. That's my favorite thing. I was worth every penny of the $45 I spent on it. Well, it's because he messed up the message and said, Reese, you have to help out. And I'm like, fuck, that's the wrong message. That's okay. We're going.
We're good with it.
We're good with it.
Also,
okay.
I have one more, but this is more a bit that got away from us, which is, I think, one of the foundational bits of this show. Maybe it was something that you thought of, John, in our pre-production era, which was getting Gilbert Gottfried to read the opening paragraph of the Horus Heresy on Cameo, and then unfortunately he did pass. Yeah. So I feel like that's just really too bad.
We were quoted as, I think, around $500 for him to do that, because it was technically a commercial endeavor, and that's kind of what put us off. But in hindsight, it probably would have been a really good thing to do.
And in 500 years, we'll have made $500, and by then they'll be able to bring him back from life, back from dead. So we can do that.
Chat's in here saying the show needs more Taylor. I'm here to let you know, guys. Val and I have talked about this. Literally, the Taylor show is tank, and we have no idea why.
Another bit that tanks, yeah.
Wow,
that's a bit, and we're really sad about that, because we love having Taylor on. We love his crazy energy, so but yeah, for some reason, you guys don't like him. That's okay.
Yeah,
we actually have a cast of characters that we established in the first year or so that I feel like we could go back to the well with Herbert. I miss old Herbert. He was a good foil to Taylor when we did establish that. The Taylor episodes where they were debating stuff, I think, were very good.
Yeah,
but they did not land.
Chat's asking, will we ever get the Infinite and the Divine Author on eventually? I reached out like a year ago, and then he's like, yeah, like reach out to me in like a few months, and then I never did.
You should reach out again.
But we'll reach out again.
Yeah.
Most Black Library authors, I think, are just sort of on the internet.
They're very easy to reach. Yeah. We had them on Mob Rules, like episode 6. We had Gav Thorpe, and we just had terrible audio. But anyway, guys, we're gonna sign out here so everyone can go to bed. Val, anything you want to hit before we go away?
I just want to shout out John and Dickie for putting together probably the best episode of Grim After Dark that has ever been. That was very, very good, gentlemen.
I do these things where I'm like I don't do anything, but then some days like my eyes roll back into my head and I just create a bunch of assets and write a whole bunch of shit. So I appreciate that.
Those bumpers are awesome.
Yeah. Yes, we're making this professional now, guys.
Yeah, man.
Give us money. GrimAfterDark.com. Danny.
Or don't.
Or don't. Whatever. I don't care.
Nice check interview called out in the chat as well.
What we run out? My favorite failed successful was the dice check interview, guys. Okay, we got to talk about that real quick because we loved that. I thought it was going to freaking bomb the whole time. What happened? We booked months in advance dice check to come on, and then when we were waiting to go live, he was playing a stream game on his own channel. So we had him. We had his stream game.
Put him on stream game.
We had his stream game as a guest, and we would ask the stream questions.
The meta factoid that goes alongside of that is we're on Mondays specifically so that we didn't conflict with them doing shows on Tuesdays.
Because we started on Tuesdays, but we were right out before dice check, so we had to move.
Hence the see you next Tuesday is the closing line, which is very good.
Which see you Monday still sort of works, come.
Yeah.
Dickie, anything else you want to throw out there before we sign off for the week?
No, I'm excited for next week's show. We got a lot in the back burner that we'll probably do Sunday night. Yeah, we're excited.
Dickie and I have this amazing game that we have planned for next week. We're not going to tell you any details. It's going to blow this week's out of the water, which won't be hard because you'll hopefully play with the concept.
Yeah.
But
unlikely.
But it's going to be just a lot of late nights on Sunday where I'm like, shit, I have to do that.
Yeah.
That's okay though. But thank you everyone for joining us here on Grim After Dark. You can find all of our socials, all the way to support us at grimafterdark.com. Let you join our Discord if you give us money or don't care. We will be back next Monday live at 10 p.m. Easternish. And if you can't catch us live, subscribe to the podcast on all good podcast services or get an abridged version every Tuesday night on YouTube. But remember, when your life feels like a never-ending siege and things can't get any worse, join us here and remember that it's always grim after dark.
That was very Carl Tutelian.
Were you going to say something, Val? You had your hand up like you're asking a question.
Yeah, but then, like, I didn't want to interrupt the flow state. You'd have a
Earl
stroke.
Hagen was a legend. 1960,
We have to
whistled his
talk
way
over
into
this?
Hollywood.
I want to call it people.
Hearts.
If people in chat, if you do enjoy the show,
Decades later, he
maybe
made a
share
comeback,
it. Maybe tell
blending
people
those
that
lustrous
like
lips
you
in the
enjoyed the show
1980s to
on
such
like
bands
I don't
as
know
the
your favorite
Scorpions,
social media
Guns N'
platform.
Roses, and Pat
Rather than giving us money, maybe invite your rich friends, and they can give us money.
No, I just want the money.
This time without cumbersome musical
I
accompaniment.
don't care if people watch.
He'll have you wetting your whistle and whistle.
I'm in this for the status.
His
Sean, you're
new
such a
Earl
capitalist.
Whistles Disney is sure to be a hit with all generations.
An Alaskan capitalist. That's
Order now
an
and receive a
interesting
bonus album,
contradiction of terms.
Earl Whistles
Been in
More
the
Shit,
U.S. for 20 years now.
a
of
collection
course.
of previously
Horses and
unreleased
people.
material of Earl's favorite
rubbed off
songs
on
through
him.
the years. On this bonus album,
He has done the
demonstrates
Gad
his newly
cookies
mastered
at
technique
the
of
end
inward whistling.
outro in the past. Chat.
Sherman
Order
Messer.
yours today
You
on
keep
compact
listening
disc
for like
or
20
double-wide
seconds after
cassette.
this one, and I will.
Also available at fine
And Dickie will
retailers
leave the
like
stream on,
Walgreens,
and it'll just loop
CVS,
for the next 25 hours.
and good stores.
It's a mistake I did like
Earl
once or
Whistles Disney.
twice. Come on.
Buy it today.
I also totally forgot to record again. God damn it.
Do you like cookies but want something more British? Buy biscuits. Not like those you have for gravy. British biscuits. For dunking in your British tea. Stiff upper lip guaranteed. Biscuits, as recommended by Queen Liz of the Britons.